Hey everyone, Michael Hirsch here with Break a Pencil. Hope you all are well. Back with another video demonstration of how you can use AI as a product leader or a product manager effectively. So I'm starting with the framework that I've introduced and talked about in the past, but I'll quickly overview here. The 6 personas of product leadership. These represent the different leadership roles that effective product leaders need to master. And I'm going to focus today specifically on the one on the very left, the Strategic Orchestra Conductor. This is the persona that sets the strategy and keeps your teams aligned. So we're going to focus on that, and we're going to talk about, or I'm going to demonstrate how you can use AI to do a market strategic analysis, right? So let me set the stage. You're a VP of product and you're trying to answer the strategic question. You're a VP of product at say, a B2B SaaS company. And you're getting asked the question, should we be building AI agent capabilities into our product? Or is this just hype that we can ignore for now? So, there's strategic tension in this situation, right? Engineering is wanting roadmap prioritization. What are we building? What are we building next? Sales keeps hearing AI agents from every customer and prospects. Leadership wants to know, is this real? Like, do we need to deal with this right now? Do we need to deal with this later? Is this just another hype? And as a product leader, it's on you, specifically as the persona of the Strategic Orchestra Conductor, to sort of filter out and find the signal from all that noise and make a strategic recommendation, right? So you're trying to derive things like market timing and competitive positioning and resource allocation and ultimately that strategic decision. Is this something we should build? Is this something we should buy or partner or just wait? And so ultimately what we need to get to is we need to sort of take a broad view of the market. We need to strategically analyze it and come up with a clear recommendation to our CEO, right? Here's what the AI agent trend means for our 2025 strategy and why. So that's what I'm going to demo. So let me start with the sources. So I did a little bit of, searching around on the internet and found some sources of some very recent agent news. And so Anthropic just last month announced some capabilities. So I've got their announcement along with a third-party review of it. Similar with OpenAI, a couple months before that, they announced some agent capabilities in their platform. So I have their announcement as well as a third-party review. Microsoft 365 at their recent Build conference announced an agents toolkit. Meta announced a $14 billion acquisition of Scale AI. Bark provided a perspective on Salesforce acquiring Informatica. So the first is kind of new platform releases. Now here it's sort of big transactions, acquisitions, and deals that are shaking up the industry. And then the last two articles here are really more of kind of the reality check, right? AI agents in 2025, expectations versus reality. It's an article on the IBM blog. And another one here, the year of maturity for enterprise AI agents. So I'm going to take all of these, right? And what I've done is essentially I've PDF'd them all. So they'll be very easy for me to drop into these AI tools. And I'm going to show you the 3 prompts I'm going to use, and then we're going to go ahead and do it. The first prompt is going to be this basic initial analysis, right? Just kind of take a first swag at what I'm providing. I'm the VP of product at a B2B SaaS company trying to understand the AI agent trend and its strategic implications. Please analyze the attached sources and identify 1, key trends and patterns, 2, what's actually shipping versus what's being announced, 3, early adopter versus mainstream readiness signals, 4, competitive dynamics, 5, common implementation challenges, and I specifically am calling out focus on separating hype from substance and business reality from technical possibility. In tech, always important to be able to filter out what's real from what's smoke and mirrors. So that's the first one. And then after I get the results of that, I'm going to ask a follow-up, which is going to say, now, get the strategic implications out of this. So what we're saying is, based on this analysis, what are the strategic implications for a B2B SaaS product team? Specifically, market timing, competitive risk, customer expectations, resource requirements, implementation complexity, right? And frame this from the perspective of what I ultimately need to do here, which is make a recommendation to my CEO. And last but not least, I'm going to ask for an executive brief. I'm going to ask to have this converted to a crisp executive brief, 2 to 3 sentences on what it means for our business, exec summary, some key findings, a strategic recommendation, some next steps, some risks, right? Keep it short, keep it tight, something I can present in a 10-minute agenda item in a leadership meeting, right? So these are the 3 steps, and I'm going to go through kind of from big to more strategic to more recommendation, right? So that's kind of the approach we're taking. And for things like this that are pretty darn important and have pretty big impact potentially on a business, I like to use 2 different models. And so I'm going to do this with Claude on the left and with ChatGPT on the right. Okay, so let me grab that first prompt and put it in both of our tools. All of these prompts and files will be made available to you, so you can recreate this on your own if you're interested. And then I'm going to grab, if you recall, I had 9 articles that I was using. I'm just going to grab those 9 PDFs and drop them here, and then I'm going to grab them and drop them here. We'll wait until both models bring these up. Okay, so it looks like we're good on Claude, and it looks like we are good and ready on Chat. Okay, so let's let her rip. Okay, Chat seems to be a little bit ahead right now, so let's read this one first. So key trends and patterns, broad enterprise interest, transition from hype to exploration. The hype mirrors past cycles, NFTs and metaverse, but now includes stronger business and developer momentum. That's good to know. Vertical specific use cases, technical progress. Excellent. Okay, what's actually shipping versus what's being announced? Shipping now, Substance, OpenAI, Anthropic, Microsoft, Salesforce, still announced or visionary, fully autonomous self-reasoning agents, and agentic orchestration of multiple agents. Early adopter versus mainstream readiness. So we've got some signals here, competitive dynamics, leading players, strategic moves. Okay, and let's see, final takeaways. Build lightweight agents around specific high leverage workflows, focus on orchestration over autonomy, leverage pre-built SDKs, midterm opportunities, invest in governed data infrastructure, designed for interop and long-term differentiation. The winners won't just build better agents, they'll embed agents into business workflows. Okay, this is actually really quite helpful. Let's take a look at what Claude did. Agentic AI positioning is everywhere. 3 distinct approaches are emerging: built-in platform agents, custom-built solutions, and orchestrated multi-agent. Data management, critical bottleneck. Great. What's shipping versus announced? Early adopter versus mainstream signals, competitive dynamics. Now, one thing, if you will notice, in all 3 of my prompts, it's kind of the theory of garbage in, garbage out. Unstructured prompt, you're going to get unstructured response. It's going to kind of just be like just all over the place. So I like these important prompts to not just sort of ask the important question, but also structure the response. I want to hear this, 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 and this, right? Like I want it back in a structured and easy to digest fashion. Okay, so let's follow up with both of these for the strategic implications. Okay, so for Claude, let's ask that question, and let's go ahead and ask it here for GPT as well. Okay, GPT. It's funny, it jumped right to a memo. Okay. We're right on time if we act in the next 6 to 12 months. Competitive risk, ignore at your peril. Risk of perceived obsolescence. That generally resonates with kind of what we're seeing in the market right now. Customer expectations, they want utility, not magic. Resource requirements, hybrid approach. Buy the plumbing, build the value. I love how they kind of summarize all these things. Okay, great. So really structured, final call. AI agents are not a checkbox or a strategic capability. Let's act now to build credibility, learn what works, position ourselves for advantage as the wave crests. Fund a small agentic AI tiger teams, select 1 to 2 customer-facing workflows, and then include it in our 2026 roadmap. Good. Let's look at here over on the left side of what Claude did. Neither too early nor too late. Okay, good. Market timing right on time. Window, as it says, about 12 to 18 months. Competitive risk is high if we wait. Okay. Customer expectations are practical, not futuristic. That's aligning with kind of what we saw over on ChatGPT. Resource requirements, strategic partnership, plus selective build. Okay, excellent, great. And a strategic recommendation, move forward with controlled urgency. What does success look like? And how can we position ourselves as an early adopter with mature implementation? All right, and then last but not least, let's go ahead and say, you know what, fine, this is great. Give me that brief that I can use in the upcoming leadership meeting where I've got an agenda item. And there we go. Now, normally, if I were doing this, right, I would take a little bit more time, right? I wouldn't try to knock this out in 15 minutes. I'd probably spend, a good couple hours on it to make sure I understood and make sure I was in alignment and make sure that I kind of understood the implications of the recommendation. Now, before AI, this would have taken me a lot longer, right? I'd have to be reading these full articles. I'd have to really be trying to come up with sort of finding the signal and finding the common threads. And so what maybe would have taken me a day or two is now taking me an hour or two. Massive savings. And I'm going to argue that AI is actually probably giving me some more insightful recommendations than I might have been able to tease out on my own. Okay, so here's the executive brief from ChatGPT. Excellent. Okay, cost overruns, internal distraction if poorly scoped. Those are action risks. Inaction risks, brand erosion, lost enterprise deals, delayed learning curve. And here's the brief from Claude. Beautiful. Technical complexity, customer training, inaction risks, customer churn, sales disadvantage, and talent retention challenges. So bottom line, risk of moving too slowly significantly outweighs risk of measured investment. This, I think, is a fabulous sort of takeaway, right? We're going to have to make a bet. I can't see the future. I'm your VP of product. I can sort of, read tea leaves. But at this point in time, the risk of sitting on the sidelines is far outweighed by the potential risk of doing some investment in this and it not really materializing. Okay, the competitive window is open now, but closing rapidly. All right, that's it. I hope this was helpful as a way to show how the persona of the Strategic Orchestra Conductor can leverage AI to help bring a competitive market strategy analysis together in a short period of time and make a concrete recommendation to the team. Thanks. Hope you have a good day. And as always, break a pencil.